And I'm going to try to be quickly on this, though I do have a bunch of questions. I'm trying to prioritize it. First, I want to say to the workers, the union people, I totally agree that we need to create jobs. We need to continue to create good jobs, and I appreciate you wanting new jobs. I'm for it too, but it's about the business aspect of it that's serious to me that I just want to lay out there. You also know that I'm on the team for AEG to bring a team in and to have a multiplier effect, to make the convention expand, to get more hotels and make this more vibrant. And I want to thank Ms. Perry for what she's done over the last 10 years in it. I just want you to know that, and I'm part of it. But here are the big questions. How long do we need to continue to subsidize hotels in downtown? What dynamic needs to change before hotel developers can be self-supporting and not need public subsidy? Please answer that.
The room rates need to be higher.
So, can't they get a sharp pencil and begin to work that out?
No, the room rates that they can charge, even at full occupancy, are not sufficient to be able to finance the construction of and operation of a hotel.
Well, just to say this, part of the CLA's written response to this question said that the public subsidies are needed in part because the city and political demands that projects have high labor and environmental standards. I don't buy that for a second. Corporate executives could make smaller profits or take, smaller bonuses home. I do not believe that the public needs to pay the price for a corporation to be a good citizen. Just want to make that point. Okay, you told committee this is the economic development model we have used since the 90s. The economy has changed. The city's financial picture has changed. And downtown has dramatically changed. Why hasn't the model changed? Hello?
Well, I'm not sure I completely understand the question. Again, this is a mechanism we've used all throughout the city. We've used it in the Valley, Pacoima Plaza. We used it at District Square. We used it at Midtown Crossing. We used it for the River Center in Mr. Reyes' district. We have used it on hotels. We've used it in Hollywood. This is a policy model structure that the council approved back in 1998 or 1999.
Okay, I just want to respond to that real quick because I have a couple more when I get on the record.
Okay, but the bottom line question is the same as the first question. Things have certainly improved. There wouldn't be anybody willing to build a hotel at any price not terribly many years ago, but the revenues that can be generated are still not sufficient.
Let me say this. It's time to change the model. These public subsidies have become reflex rather than a rare matter of last resort. If we're going to give away public funds for projects, we should determine which projects create the most jobs or do the most social good. I mean, it's hard to find money to help us fill financial gaps for permanent supportive housing, but it seems pretty easy to find funds for a hotel or a parking lot. Just want to react to that. Something's wrong with that model. But I want to know this about this developer. What are the last 10 hotels built by this developer? Which cities are they in? What sort of a deal did these cities provide the developer? Are they Courtyard Marriotts or comparable hotels? I'd like our consultant to help me figure this out. What about this group? What's that all about? What experience do they have? How many hotels have they built? And why do they need a subsidy?
Well, with respect to the last question...
Your name for the record, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jim Raby. I'm a senior principal with Kaiser Marsh and Associates.
Yeah.
With respect to your last question first, this project has a feasibility gap of approximately $35 million.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Because we evaluated the revenues and the operating income from the hotel. We reviewed the projected development costs for the hotel project. We compared that to other hotels and projects that we've evaluated over the last 4 to 5 years in terms of cost. We reviewed the market studies that have been prepared by CLS, by HVS, and information and market studies prepared by Marriott for this project. So we've looked at it in that way. This is the way that we've evaluated.
I understand that, but tell me about this group that wants to invest. What have they done? Bill, what are they doing?
Bill,
I was answering your
press your button again.
Okay, I'd like that one, and then I'll come back again.
In looking at a project like this, Williams & Dame and American Life are two development firms. Williams & Dame has done a number of residential projects here and mixed-use projects up in Portland. They're a reputable development firm. I've actually looked at most of their projects over the last several years. American Life, I've reviewed their track record, and if They did not have Marriott as the operator for this hotel project. I would probably be more concerned. But when you look at hotel developers and hotel projects, you have to worry about first who's the developer, who's going to get it built, and who's going to operate it. So the combination of the two is what's important, not just the development entity by themselves. So they have a long track record of projects, a little bit on hotels, and they have hotel projects that are going forward. The important part of the hotel component is that Marriott is the operating partner.
Okay, just real quickly a response to that. I'll push my button again, but just to respond to his point. So this is WDH's first hotel and only the second for American Life. Is that true?
I believe that's correct. That's the information that they've provided, yes.
Okay, so I appreciate that the CLA has answered this question, but I'm concerned that it was not asked until yesterday. I mean, come on, by me at the TCT committee. If we're going to negotiate the best deals for the city, questions like this should be part of our due diligence before ever sitting down with someone looking for public subsidy. But I'll come back up again. Thank you.